Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, welcome back to Apex Alchemy, your one-stop shop for really nothing. You're going to need additional sources of information. But man, look, I use this Kizer Mini Paragon at work this week. I'm going to tell you real quick, like the video I did when Ken Faulkner let me borrow his Mini Paragon. I was kind of critical on the jimping above the finger, the flipper, for a reason, man. What's it for? It's silly, If not for aesthetics, what is it for? But I've got to tell you straight up, I'm gonna eat crow because I was at a customer this week. I deliver groceries. One of my customers, they put a forklift through a box of food, and I had to cut the box open to see if the food was salvageable or not. When I did, flipped the knife out, would cut the tape off. Thumb landed exactly on that jimping. I don't know why. With a regular knife, I don't think I've ever. I think it's just the way the knife is designed.
It's not there on most knives, and
well, I mean, I didn't think about this jimping
right.
being there, but like that's just exactly
it's a natural,
how
good sideways hold on it.
And at that moment, I was thinking, RS Knife Works, you genius. Because it worked. I held it like this, and I was having to cut the tape off the box, and
it's a sideways grip.
Yeah, it just worked. It just worked. So it's not useless. I apologize. Eat my crow. That's the first thing. But go ahead and start off with that, I suppose. You got two options for the Paragon right now, and I'm not sure exactly how. I don't know if everybody realizes how big of a deal this knife is. With White Mountain Knife Works, didn't just get like an exclusive with different scales, man. They've actually got it's a different knife. It's an extra mini. So like compared up, you just don't see that often. Where a knife distributor gets a knife that's totally different size. So the extra mini comes in at about 3/4 of an inch shorter. We can go over some numbers real quick.
The extra mini has an overall length of 7.78 inches with a blade length of 3.09. And it's got the G10. The Mini Paragon has an overall length of 8.65 inches with a blade length of 3.43. So it's almost a half an inch more of blade length, and you've got a whole inch more.
A whole inch more. Okay.
Well, 0.10 difference, pretty much.
Okay.
Of overall length.
Okay, cool. Yeah, man, I would say this is not going to be a versus video. Obviously you'll buy which one which one you want. This one is available at White Mountain Knife Works for now, and it's $99. This one's available at most places.
It's available at White Mountain too.
Yeah. It's definitely available at White Mountain, but it's also available at other places like Blade HQ and Smoky Mountain Knife Works and wherever you want to buy
a knife.
And
it's $119.
$119.
White Mountain knives.
I want to go over some differences, some things, some pros and some cons of each one. And keep in mind, I'm not really here to beat up either one of the knives. I love them both. So it's not really a con. I prefer the stability of the small knife. And what I mean by that is it's operating off the same pivot as the Mini Paragon, which has got a bigger, heavier blade. It's the same size pivot. So like this knife feels more stable when opening and closing. Like it feels like it's a more solid design. It feels like it's got a more solid structure. Yeah, absolutely. This one doesn't feel unsolid. It just feels like it's 90% as solid as the small one, which that would lead me to guess that might be the hesitation on the extra large coming out, because if it's going to be operating off of the same frame and the same pivot, and this one feels a little
just extended longer with more metal coming out the front.
Yeah,
it's going to be. It would appear, or you could assume it was going to be pretty top heavy and the blade is going to, if it's still supported by the same pivot,
Yeah.
it is going to wear that pivot much quicker too.
Yeah, I mean, it's just not gonna feel as smooth.
Right.
The opening mechanisms and the closing, the actions, both of them lock up fine, but neither one of them feel like they're about to fall apart. Nothing like that. It's like both of them are solid. It just this one is definitely, it feels more solid, and I believe it's because it's lighter. The pivot's working with less weight, and it's just solid.
And one thing I've noticed too is the handles between these. The blade gets bigger and heavier. The handle gets a little longer, but it's still pretty much the same. Well, I mean, it's barely longer. So you've got a lot of blade coming out of a still very narrow, just long, skinny handle.
Yeah.
Compared to the extra mini over here.
Right.
It's like more balanced, I think.
So if you had to buy one, decision's going to be yours. This is my thoughts on the matter. I very much prefer the micarta over the G10. The G10 looks better. I would say the problem that we're going to come into with the G10 is all the milling in the G10 scales goes above this very tight pocket clip, and so what's happening is it's hard to get in and out of pocket. It's not impossible. It's just harder.
Where the micarta gives more, it's a smoother.
It goes in and out of pocket just fine, no problem. I do very much like the finish and the material of this G10 better than this micarta. I do like the micarta. It feels great. I can tell it's going to stain up really quick.
As soon as I got it out and put my hands on it, there's already 3 spots for my fingers.
Yeah, that's because you're a dirty butt.
Yep.
But anyway, the blade steel on this one, I would say, is an upgrade from the 154 CM. The blade steel on this, the tiny or the extra mini is 3V, and the blade steel on this one is 154 CM. I have no problem with either one of these steels. I really don't have a problem with any steel. I'm not a steel junkie, so that's go.
I was just going to remind you to mention the problem you were having when you were cutting the plastic and stuff.
Oh, yeah. All right, so I after handling it for a few days at work, and I was cutting a lot of shrink wrap off of these pallets that have groceries inside, I did learn how to use the knife a little bit better. If you keep the work up here at the tonto,
especially if it's long strips of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I'm cutting 6 foot,
right?
Stretches of plastic. So if I keep the work within this blade range, within the tip, then I'm okay. But if the plastic ever grabs below the recurve does push that plastic down, and the plastic will wind up getting hung up in the between the flipper and the choil, the sharpening choil. So I was actually thinking about doing a flipper delete on this one, just I may have to get it done. I think I could break out a grinder. No, I think I could break out a grinder and grind the thing off. I just might not be able to make it look pretty, but I was thinking by the end of the week, I was like, this is almost a perfect work knife. It really is. It's
a good size.
You can finger flip it. You can flip it like that. I'm not real good at the thumb flip forward.
Now, if you took that off, that is the flipper, right?
That's the flipper.
So
you wouldn't
you'd be
have that
eliminating
anymore.
one of the.
Yeah, it'd be a trade-off. You wouldn't be getting snagged up in things,
right? And
you wouldn't be able to flip it anymore. But it reverse flips so. Yeah, I can't do it.
As soon as you gotta say it.
I like it. I could do a reverse flip with 3 fingers on this one, but of course, the index and the thumb are easier.
Yeah, I was supposed to say this one tends to be an index finger flipper for you.
For this one, it's small enough to manipulate a lot better. And as soon as this detent is not the strongest detent in the world, but it's strong enough. But as soon as you get past it, I did a pinky flip earlier. Can I do it again? Oh, look at that. Pinky flip. So you can reverse flip this knife or I can reverse flip this knife with any finger. Not that matters. It doesn't matter.
No.
But it may matter to somebody if somebody's missing a finger. But
Yeah.
This
I thought about that.
yeah. I do very much enjoy this knife. You know, as a work knife. I do very much enjoy this knife as a work knife too. If I had to pick one though, and one was the only one I could get, it's gonna be tough because like this one has better blade steel, and this one goes in and out of pocket easier. But I think what I would do personally is I'd pick up one of these, and I'd take a sander to this mill. Since you carry this knife in your purse most of the time, I'm not concerned about that.
It doesn't affect that.
Yeah, because it don't really go in her pocket. It's a purse knife, and that's fine. Like I would even come closer to. Well, you don't have a lanyard hole, but I would come closer to like, you know, using a lanyard, taking the pocket clip off and using a lanyard for this knife before I would depend on that. This pocket clip and this milling, you know, like without making any kind of adjustments, you know, I just take the pocket clip off completely. But that is going to be up to you and what your preferences are. You know, a lot of people aren't going to want to take an exclusive of any kind and start grinding on it. You know, me, I'm saying $100 knife here, probably ain't going to like triple or quadruple in value or anything. So I'm really curious, man. Just going back to the fact that White Mountain Knives didn't just get an exclusive scale. You know, like most people get an exclusive scale or a changed metal,
blade mill, or blade material and all.
Right, and hardware. You know, they got the black hardware and stuff like that. But they actually got it's a whole knife dedicated to them. So like this White Mountain Knives is the only place that you can get that. And that leaves me curious because I'm really hoping that that's not going to be the case forever. No offense, White Mountain Knives, but the thing is like I would like to see this knife in 3V with some micarta in the future. You know, like I think that would be kind of cool. You know, and like it would really be cool if the extra large come out with micarta.
Right.
You know, in the future
as of
well.
right now, it's going to be coming out with the G Mascus.
Yeah, it's the only way you can get this one is G10 or G Mascus. Yeah,
and that's the only way they're describing the extra large right now too.
Right, the extra large is as of the making of this video, the extra large is not dropped yet.
Just says coming soon.
What is today's date?
It's May 20th.
May the 20th. So May the 20th, about 3 weeks ago, I talked to White Mountain Knives about the extra large, and they said that the extra large they were hoping would be on the shelves available.
In June.
No.
July.
No, they said the next 90 days. That's what they said.
Okay.
Now, the RSK does have a knife that's dropping in June. You know, they're hoping that it'll drop in June. This camera's jumping around. I don't know.
It's probably me.
No. It's just jumping. You see that?
Yeah, I did.
I don't know I don't know if that'll translate to the video or not. That's crazy though. Sorry. But RSK does have a Vosteed, if I'm saying that right. I've never owned one. Sorry. But it's a Vosteed Mayhem. Vosteed, something like that. And it's a Mayhem. It's going to be a compression lock style button lock, liner lock type thing. I don't know. But it's supposed to be released in June. I'm excited to check it out too. But as far as these knives go, that's my final thoughts. You got anything you want to add to it?
I personally really like the style and or the size and utility of the extra mini.
I do too. You know, just
that's my personal.
Yeah, no, I mean that's cool. Like, I mean, we don't have a lot of knives sitting here on the table, but like this is the AD15, so like you can see that the mini Paragon's about the size of the AD15, where the extra mini Paragon is right about the size.
What about this? Maybe about this size?
Nah, it'll be longer than that,
okay.
But that's okay. That's the Kershaw Monitor. That's one of our 1,000 subscriber giveaway knives, and so you can see, you know, like the size difference.
Too much longer, but
no, not too much longer. But this one is almost identical in the same as far as length dimensions go as the Benchmade 940. So it's 7.78 inches. So it's like it's right there with a lot of other knives that we don't really consider mini. But what is that?
This is the CJRB.
That's Michael's knife. Oh my God.
Is it?
Yeah. We still gotta get his knife back to him. That's a CJRB something other. Anyway, yeah. I like using them both. You know, that's I can't wait for the extra large to come out, but I enjoy using them both. That's just some minor pros and cons, I guess you would say. You know, it's like better steel, better handle.
And I really did. I loved the mini Paragon. When we got our hands on it from Ken, I was like, this is a chunky knife, and it opens easy and it feels good. But now that I've got the smaller version, I think I do prefer it.
Right. No, I mean I can definitely understand that. It's a usable size knife the way it is, but I'm looking forward to the XL coming out, and I'm not sure, like it's a 9.5 inches overall, so we're looking more at the Cold Steel 4 size, you know, like minus about a 1/2 inch. So what I'll do is I'll move the butt over about a 1/2 inch, so like the blade would come out to about right here. You know, like if these are lined up properly, and you know, like the blade of the
About how much
extra
longer
large,
the
you know,
beer.
cut off a 1/2 inch of that handle, and that's pretty much going to be the knife we're going to be dealing with when it comes to the XL Paragon. I'm excited. I'm excited to check it out. But anyway, this video, like most of our videos here lately, it's long enough.
Yeah.
If you got any questions, you got any concerns, you got any comments, leave them below. If you don't like the video and you don't like the knives that are presented in the video and you feel like they're ripping people off, leave that comment below too. I will take any comments and I will reply back to anybody because comments help the algorithm. So if you're still watching, by God, hit the like button, leave a comment. Love you guys. We'll catch you on the flip side.